So the race for the top positions in the ANC is officially on as the nomination process opens today. Limpopo, the Eastern Cape, the Northwest are just some of the provinces backing Cyril Ramaphosa for another term as party leader. The deputy president position is likely to be the most contested position. Paul Mashatile, Ronald Lamola, Mmamoloko, Kubayi, Oscar Mabuyane, these are just some of the names that have been unofficially earmarked to take over from David Mabuza, who's the incumbent. Over the weekend, Ramaphosa urged members to elect credible leaders. For so a sense of now what the ANC and KZN, or who the ANC and KZN will be backing, let's bring in its secretary, that's Bheki Mtolo, who joins us now via our video link this morning. Mtolo, it's great to have you on the program. Thanks for your time. So I guess the obvious question is, has KZN reached a consensus around who you want to lead the party in the next 5 years?
No, thanks very much. Greeting to your viewers. You know that today is officially opening of nominations of those who will lead the ANC in the next 5 years. And what does this mean? It means now the opportunity is given by the National Executive Committee for ANC branches to nominate those who think they will lead at national level, starting from the president to the last 86 additional member of the National Executive Committee. Now, we must allow branches of the ANC to do that work without any pressure and influence from anyone. And then in terms of the ANC constitution and guidelines is that once that it happens, then the province, each province receives the consolidated nominations from branches, and then there are people that, let's talk about the president, for example. A candidate that has received the highest nomination of branches, then it becomes a provincial nomination. Then it is when that the province can now pronounce and say, yes, this is our candidate. Now the excitement of going around pronouncing without branches having set and determined who they think they will must lead the ANC is unfortunate, because it's trying to influence branches and impose leadership on branches. Let's allow the branches of the ANC to do that work without any pressure and influence from anyone.
Are you saying the provinces that have already pronounced who they want to lead the party have jumped the gun?
No, I'm talking about KZN. What KZN should happen. We remember there's one ANC process, there's one ANC constitution. In terms of those processes, it's branches that elect leadership. It's branches that do nominations. Then let's allow branches. Now we've taken a position that we are not going to pressurize branches, influence branches, and then impose leadership on branches. Let branches of the ANC do their work without any influence from anyone, without pressure from anyone.
Okay, let me ask the question differently. What do you make of the decision by some provinces to already pronounce who they want to lead the party in the next 5 years?
I think you would know that since we've been elected, we've been very careful that we don't want to be the people who speak everything anyway. We are responsible from the KwaZulu-Natal because we are the Provincial Executive Committee of KwaZulu-Natal. We only speak on matters that affect KwaZulu-Natal when it comes to these processes, unless it's a broader policy position of the ANC. Now, provinces, I may not know what has happened, but I'm saying, as KwaZulu-Natal, we are following the processes of the ANC to the teeth. And I think we would know even towards our provincial conference, that's how we have believed, that let's allow branches. That's why people were not sure what will happen to the provincial conference, because it was not clear, because we're allowing branches of the ANC to do their work without any influence, without any pressure from anyone.
All right. So Kgalema Motlanthe, who's in charge of this process in some ways, announced that there'd be new guidelines this time around in order to address weaknesses that existed, around different policies in the past. Have these new guidelines been communicated to you? And if so, are you happy with what the leadership has come up with to solve past problems?
We are happy with what the ANC constitution has always over the years prescribed on how leadership of the ANC is nominated. For you to be nominated in the National Executive Committee of the ANC, you must have been a member of the ANC with a track record. You would have served at least a minimum of 10 years in the ANC. And then you have a proven track record of growing organically from structures. And then members of the ANC will therefore look at, remember, ANC is a huge organization. It's got more than almost close to 1 million members. Then we only need 86 people of those. then ANC members, branches will have talk about among themselves and nominate. But once that gets consolidated, then it sends to for the top 6, the person that gets the highest nomination becomes the nominee of the province. For additional members, the first top 200 that are nominated by branches, they become the nominee for the province. Means they will be appear. They are guaranteed that they will appear on the ballot. Then it's when provinces start to now go out and lobby themselves based on their provincial nominations, and then if they don't agree, provinces, then it is put in a democratic strength when people are given a chance to go to a ballot and vote and then choose whoever they think can lead the ANC better, secretly, peacefully, without being forced by anything.
Yeah. But in the past, sure, I hear that. In the past, there had always been concerns, for instance, around, vote rigging, etc., votes being bought by certain candidates, especially in the lead up to the conference itself. I guess my question is, how concerned are you about the resurgence of those particular issues come December?
I've been in the ANC for some time now. I've been in leadership for more than 20 years. All I know is that even if you can give somebody whatever immaterial influence, but with the guarantee I can tell you is that you have no control over that individual when it's on the ballot, because on the ballot that individual is alone. The only person, at least we know, that you are guaranteed that he sees or she sees what he does is only God.
You're not suggesting that these aren't issues that the party has faced in the past, are you?
I'm saying you will try to put measures. Remember, these are human beings. Human beings can hack a bank. A bank will create a very good system, but a human being will hack a bank, will hack your Facebook account and all that. You will put systems in place, but all I'm saying is that in the past it has been proven that not all those who sometimes carry money, they always win, because there's a time when you will have no control over a delegate. Because the delegate will be alone in the a ballot box, voting and choosing, alone, and nobody sees, not even your wife, not even your girlfriend, not even your husband, not even your boyfriend, not even your mother, not even your father. Then you can do whatever, but you must understand that there's a time where you will have no control over that delegate, because he will be alone when he's voting.
Okay, I appreciate that. I guess my question is a bit more nuanced than that. I'm saying, if this is known it is taking place, surely it has a bearing on sometimes, dare I say, the credibility of the vote itself. Is that a concern that KZN has in the lead up to December?
No, it's a concern of anything that is outside a normal process, that has got some lower level of ethics. It's a concern to everyone, not only in the ANC, even in society. Anything that you know that some people will try to subvert the process, some to undermine the process and use all other means. But I think we always rely on branches to elect the best amongst them. Because remember, the branch will have, for example, in eThekwini, in KwaZulu-Natal, we have a branch that's got 1,300 members. Maybe it's qualifying for 3 delegates. All our plea will be saying to those 1,300 members who will be in the PGM, at least they must choose among the best among them, whom they know that during the way towards the national conference, he will always carry the mandate of his branch or her branch, and when he's influenced in the process, if he changes the mandate of a branch, it must be based on the best interest of the ANC as it is prescribed by the Truly Alphanetly, not by any other material thing. We always rely on branches to say they must choose the best among them.
All right, Bheki Mtolo, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Really do appreciate it. Bheki is the KZN secretary for the ANC, as of course we count down officially now to the elective conference for the party's leadership positions, or the nomination process in the lead up, I beg your pardon, to some of those leaders finally being elected. Bheki Mtolo, once again, thanks very much indeed.